This is the traditional gable hood. The gable hood, also known as the English hood, is the most notable type of headwear worn by well-to-do or better-off Englishwomen in the first few decades of the 16th century. This fashion item was not only complex, but it was also bulky, and its interior construction is even now a mystery. The first intimations of this emerging Tudor style can be seen in this picture of Margaret Beaufort, which was painted in 1503. As you can see, she's wearing a long veil, which is a common style of headwear for the time, but the front section is heavily starched and stiffened into a point. There's also this portrait of Catherine of Aragon, which is Henry VIII's first queen, and this was painted around 1518. By this point, it has become a lot more decorative and complex than when it was worn by Margaret Beaufort in 1503. The starched front section of her veil is clearly wired and stiffened, and it is bejeweled along the front. The long sections on the sides, known as lapels, are also jeweled and embroidered, and 2 strips of fabric have been sewn inside the top front of the hood to hide the hair. For the next decade and well into the 1540s, the structure of the gable hood did not change that much. However, as the 1530s progressed, the sides of the English gable hood became shorter, and the billements ended up above the jaw. And as we know, a new, lighter form of headwear began to make an appearance in the 1530s, known as the French hood. This was worn mostly by younger women, and it was considered a lot more scandalous because it showed that little bit of hair at the front, whereas the gable hood covered the entirety of the wearer's hair. Hair in those days was considered only for the eyes of the husband, so to show one's hair in public by wearing the French hood was seen as immodest. But it quickly became the fashion of the time, and Queen Anne Boleyn is often credited with making this item fashionable. However, it has also been suggested that Henry VIII's sister Mary Tudor introduced the French hood to England.